by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Second and goal. Through the middle. Gibbs into the end zone for a Lions touchdown. Second and 10. Montgomery breaking tackles. Inside the 10, he goes to the end zone for the touchdown. From 55. And that one is inside the left upright. To the end zone, open touchdown. Isaac Teslaw with the score. Second down and goal. Give it to him, and into the end zone he goes. And for the exclamation point, he's now at 1,000 yards for the season. Now you got a 63-yard attempt by Brandon Aubrey. Good. From 63 to try to make it a two-score game again. And this kick is true. Prescott throwing wide open, and into the end zone is Flournoy. Dancing, moving, throws, and that is hauled in. You go to Ferguson for the two-point conversion. It is a three-point game with 9:52 left in regulation. Gibbs. You can only bottle him up so long. Touchdown. Brian Anger puts it down. 4 field goals tonight with 3:42 left in regulation. It's a 7-point game. Give it to him to the outside. Blocking, and into the end zone he goes. Prescott dancing, fires over the middle, and that is going to be picked off. Win it by a score of 44-30.
I don't think I could have timed that any better. Welcome into Sports Day, everybody. My name is Brant Daughtry. You're listening to Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. You're also watching it on our YouTube channel or on GreatBendPost.com. Sports Day today is presented by Barton Community College, offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities, supporting student, community, and employee needs. Landon Winkler's over in the corner. He's keeping us on the air. Big thanks to him. Hope everybody is enjoying their Friday afternoon. We are looking forward to tonight as in the world of sports here in the office. But we got to get through this show first. Your sounds of the past 24 hours. Really only one thing happening last night that I wanted to focus on. And that was Thursday Night Football. A wild game between the Lions and the Cowboys. Brandon Aubrey hits a 55-yarder and a 63-yarder. I think he hit 5 field goals. May have hit 4. I think just hit 4 now that I think about it a little bit. But a really, really impressive showing for Brandon Aubrey. He was spectacular, as he always is. But unfortunately, the Cowboys kick too many field goals, don't score enough touchdowns. The Lions score as many touchdowns as they want and wind up winning the game 44-30. Dak Prescott picked off in the final minute or so to really seal that thing up for the Lions. I have an affection for the Lions for a couple of reasons. One, my team is the Atlanta Falcons. If you know anything about the NFL, you know what a pain that is. I'm loyal. I'm not going anywhere, but boy, I need someone else to cheer for because that team's not doing it for me, and they haven't for some time. Also, my older brother now lives in Detroit. He and his wife live up in Detroit, Michigan, so they've been to a Lions game. They've been to a couple of Red Wings games, and went to a Tigers game, I believe. Went to like somewhere in the opening round, in the wild card round. They went to one of those games. So we're big sports people in my family, and with my older brother now living in Detroit, I'm kind of rooting for Detroit now in certain things. So that's fun. But watching the Lions last night, they look spectacular. Jared Goff was on a mission, and he looked fantastic that entire game. And yes, the Cowboys are suspect at best, but certainly I think they looked pretty good last night. Sports Day today is brought to you in part by the Mariotto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend, also by Sutherland's, helping you build it better since 1917. From quality lumber, plywood, and OSB to cabinets, plumbing, hardware, and power tools, they have everything you need to get the job done. Visit Sutherland's on 10th Street, and by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Community College athletics programs the best in the country. You know who's a big fan of the Barton Community College Athletics Club? The Barton Cougar Booster Club is what they're called. Big fan of them is Jeremy Combs, the head coach of Barton men's basketball. For the first time this year, he joins us in the studio. Second time we've had him on. It was kind of funny. I was looking earlier at the first time we had him on was exactly a month ago. November 5th was the first time that he and I spoke. And now here we are a month later. We're a little bit into the season, and he and I finally got together again on the show. As listeners of this show know, I am the voice of the Barton Cougars, and had a lot of fun calling their games so far this year, and had a talk with Coach Combs about what was happening in that world. So we'll take our first break of the show. On the other side, Coach Jeremy Combs, head coach of the Barton Cougars, joins us. You're listening to Sports Day from the Mayo Money Management Studio here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
It's another Instant Finalist Day today in the $20K Christmas Cash giveaway, and you could be our next Instant Finalist. You know we're giving away $20,000 next Saturday for someone to go shopping with our participating sponsors all before Christmas. Today, Boone's Maytag. Get here before 5 o'clock today at 10th and Jackson and Great Bend. And you never know, you could be shopping with $20,000 all before Christmas. And here's Dan with a holiday message.
Happy holidays from Boone's Maytag. We would like to wish you and your family a happy holiday season. All refrigerators, ranges, dishwashers, microwaves, washers, and dryers are on sale now. 0% financing for 12 months. That's free financing on all Maytag appliances. Ho, ho, ho. These are holiday deals. Boone's and Maytag. Depend on us. 10th and Jackson, Great Bend. Come see us on the web at boonesmaytag.com.
Get signed up before 5 o'clock today at Boone's Maytag, thanks to Cornerstone Automotive and Tire, Mayo Money Management, and Mater Plumbing, Heating, and Air, your Bryant dealer, whatever it takes.
Barton Community College has college classes that fit your life and your budget. With 5 flexible start dates, Barton Online is perfect for picking up a class or earning your associate's degree at less than half the cost of a university. Study anytime, from anywhere. Save time, save money. Start strong with Barton Online. Ready to take the next step? Visit online.bartoncccc.edu and enroll today.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Grant Daughtry here with you, joined now by Jeremy Combs, head coach of Barton Community College men's basketball. Coach, thanks for taking the time. First time we've had you in studio this season, and part of that's my fault. I've been a little back and forth, and schedules have gotten a little off, but glad to have you on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been kind of a wild year, obviously, on a little bit on your guys' end, but then definitely on ours with all the construction and everything going on out at the college, and so been a bit of an odd year, but hopefully it gets back to normal here.
Let's talk about the new gym. I mean, newly remodeled Flesky Fieldhouse. I think it looks fantastic.
It's unbelievable. It's a top-notch facility. It's just the perfect size. I think there's some good facilities out there that are just, they're big. I mean, I think sports arena is a really nice place, but it's, you could have 2,000 people in there and it feels like 500. And, there's places down in Texas that got really big gyms, in Florida and things like that. But again, it just seems like we've got the perfect size arena. And then the upgrades have just been fantastic.
Yeah, every time I walk in and I see the Shugart Family Hall of Fame kind of on the south end, walking in those doors, it just draws your eye immediately, and it's a perfect backdrop, I think, to watch a basketball game on.
Yeah, there's no question. Trevor did a lot of naming rights to certain things and to people that have graciously donated to the programs and putting their names on all that stuff has just been phenomenal. The fact that they're recognized for what they're doing is tremendous. It just shows their support, and it's a big reason why I'm here. To have people in this community that care as much as they do about Barton Community College is important, and especially with what we're trying to do. We're trying to have a successful program year in and year out. I think we've done a good job with that, but then having the support, that doesn't happen without their support.
So let's talk a little basketball. Tough loss to Hutchinson on Wednesday. That was a wild kind of back and forth game. And I mean, I was sitting up there in the press box and I was going, well, dang it, you kind of got to give credit to that kid for hitting that shot in that moment. That was as onions as it gets, I guess.
Yeah. That was one that we had control of pretty much the whole game. And it's very similar to a lot of games we've been in this year. And we've been on the other side of it. And so I think, sometimes you got to figure out, okay, what are we getting out of this? And although we didn't want to lose, we didn't want to end the streak. I think the streak was probably the thing that broke my heart the most. But we had to learn from it, and I think we learned from it. I think it's a situation where we could continue to win 1, 2, 3, 4 point games, but we've got to figure out ways to put teams away. So I think, it's going to be a great learning experience. I'm glad it happened now versus later. So, again, just something that we're gonna work on and make sure that we fix.
Feels like you're still playing with the lineup a little bit. You went to that 3-guard look to start against Hutch. You had John Bird, Jaden Ramirez, and Aris Rodriguez all out there at the same time. You're still kind of playing with those guard spots. What are you looking for, and do you think you'll settle on a starting 5 at some point?
Yeah, this team is, we can do a lot of different things with this team. And so, it depends on what the other teams are kind of throwing at us a little bit. But, we can go big, we can go small. We can go quick. We can go with a bunch of shooters. So there's just multiple things that we think we can do with this team. I don't know if we'll ever settle on something. I mean, I think we have some pieces that we know each night are going to be there and going to kind of be our bread and butter. But there's just, again, multiple guys. And this is a deep team. I mean, we can play 10 to 12 guys easy. But it's just a matter of kind of what the other team's doing, what they're throwing at us, and then what we want to do as well.
Let's talk a little bit about the league as a whole. We're 5 games in. What are you seeing from around the conference right now, and what about your spot in it?
Yeah, this is probably the strongest this conference has ever been, in my opinion, top to bottom. I think anybody can get beat on any given night. The teams that are at the bottom of the conference right now could easily win, and be in the middle of the pack, if not in the top of it when it's all said and done. Pratt is probably, I think they're 3-7 on the season, and they're probably the best 3-7 team I think I've seen in a long time. They're very talented. They've kind of been on the opposite end where they've lost those close games, several of them, and so they're trying to figure out how to get that win. But they're talented, and they've got a lot of athleticism. So again, it's a strong league, and we're just kind of right now, everybody's kind of beating up on each other.
Let's preview Pratt a little bit more. Who are some of the individuals that stand out when you watch them?
Yeah, they've got a point guard that's really nice. Number one, he's back from last year's team. He was on the JA 48 top players in the country this last summer, played for them. So he's a guy that can score it on all three levels. They've got a couple bigs that are, some bruiser type bigs that can score inside. They've got an athletic big that can step outside and shoot it a little bit. Got a couple guards that can really score it and shoot it really well. So again, a lot of different pieces that they have. They may not have quite the depth, but those 6, 7, 8 guys are really, really talented.
And next week, it's kind of a quick turnaround. It's playing this next game on Tuesday instead of Wednesday up at Fort Hays Tech Northwest. Have you had time to look at them at all? Do you preview games early or start game planning early, or are you one game at a time?
I really don't. I am one game at a time, but I did watch the Pratt Northwest Tech game. Use that in my scout this time because, it's interesting when you're looking at different teams that in this league we all play so differently. There's some teams that are a lot of zone. There's some teams that are trapping all over the place. So it's hard to you really want to find somebody that plays a little bit similar to you. And so I went back and watched that game, and they're really talented too. I mean, they've got some really good pieces. They play the right way. They're not shooting it real well right now, but they've got really good bigs. And so, yeah, it's going to be tough. And then to go up there and play at their place, it's a tough place to play as well. But then also the time change, and it just, like you said, the earlier game being on Tuesday, just kind of throws some things off. So it'll be a tough task for sure.
How do you adjust the practice schedule with the one less day of buildup?
Well, honestly, we don't really. We do have. There's sometimes if we're really, have played a lot of minutes and things like that, we'll just kind of make it a shoot around type practice. But for the most part, we're going to get in there and we get after it, and go pretty hard at least for an hour, at the minimum. Like that's probably what we'll be doing today. But we try to practice hard every day, and so whether it's one day before the game, 2 days before the game, whatever it is. So not much will change for us.
Fair enough. Coach, thanks for the time. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Got a game against Pratt. That's tomorrow. Tip-off at 7:30. You can hear it over on B104.3 The Point, or just go in person. Go support the team. Coach, thanks for the time. That is Coach Jeremy Combs joining us here on Sports Day. Big thanks to Coach Jeremy Combs for coming into the studio, for having that conversation. Looking forward to having him on pretty regularly. And like I said, Pratt coming into the Hill tomorrow. The women will tip at 5 and the men at 7. I think I said 7:30 actually at the end of that interview, which mistaken. That's on me. But yeah, you can tune in. That's over on B104.3 The Point. I'll be on the call of that. We got a lot of sports happening this weekend. We'll go over it at the end of the show. For now, though, Sports Day is brought to you in part by Kern Floor Service. Whether you need a new ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone floors, their knowledgeable and friendly flooring experts are here to help you find the perfect floor for your home decor and budget. Visit the Great Bend Showroom at 908 Coolidge to see, touch, and feel the latest styles. Also, by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company. Whether you're looking to sell your land or find the right property to buy, Cody takes pride in understanding your goals and making the process as smooth as possible. Call Cody at 620-7... Take that phone number again. Call Cody at 620-617-7320 or visit redcedarland.com. All right. It's Friday. That means it's time for a conversation with Connor Nichols. Connor Nickel. That's on the other side of this break. Connor and I got together. We spoke about, we started with a farewell to high school football. This is the last conversation I want to have about this year's high school football season on this show, at least for a little while. And unless we get some other guests on that we haven't spoken to yet. But wanted to get Connor's thoughts on the state title run and on the state title games and the championship runs for the teams that did win it. And, of course, his thoughts on Hoisington and Great Bend and how good those seasons were for those teams. And just wanted to get his thoughts overall on the ending of high school football. And then, of course, we'll roll this sucker on into basketball. We get into winter sports, and Connor, very gracious with his time, as always, educating me, educating you, hopefully. And that'll be on the other side of this break. You're listening to Sports Day from the Mayo Money Management Studio on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Cine Doors' Christmas message may not be original, but we hope your Christmas shines like the eyes of a child in a toy store.
I wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas.
Papa,
That's right, Hadley. I think you just did, Eddie.
Oh, yeah, and have a happy new year to boot.
Mom, Dad, and everyone at C&E Doors prays your holidays are filled with love and happiness. We hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas from everyone at C&E Doors. C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Hey, Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys make it happen.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville. Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Barton Community College has college classes that fit your life and your budget. With 5 flexible start dates, Barton Online is perfect for picking up a class or earning your associate's degree at less than half the cost of a university. Study anytime, from anywhere. Save time, save money. Start strong with Barton Online. Ready to take the next step? Visit online.bartoncccc.edu and enroll today.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, joined now by Connor Nickel of Sunflower Sports Solutions. Connor, football season in Kansas has come to a close, and what a crazy season it was. When you look back, what do you think are some of the defining moments of this high school football season?
Well, let's start with Salina Central. You know, it was interesting. I don't think I've shared this story ever, but for a number of years, I did not do it this last year, but the previous year I did, and the several years before that I did it as well too, where I would rank the top in the preseason, the top 20, 25 per position in Kansas. It is an exercise. It's done in the summer. It takes a lot of time, but we get a lot of attention for it. Did it with Catcher Kansas actually back in the day. I did it with Sports in Kansas. I did it on my own site. And before the 2024 season, after the offensive lineman ranks went out, I had the Salina Central offensive line coach DM me on Twitter and say, we have the best offensive line in Kansas. And he gave some more information to that, and I said, you know, that's great. See, I'm aware of the Snyder kid, who of course is now going to KU. And he goes, you know, we have some other guys that are really, really good. And the question with Central has always been on defense, but we saw, it was really cool, we saw that offensive line show up. And I was really thinking about that conversation over the last 10 days of sometimes, and I'm, you know, I do it as well, we overlook the line play. And I know that Sports in Kansas named the Salina Central offensive line coach the same guy who I spoke with as the assistant coach of the year. And I thought that it was a great, great award. I was on that committee when that award first got hatched a couple of years ago. And, you know, what Central did line-wise and their ability to run the ball with the really, really skilled guys, what an incredible story. And then the last thing is Coach Sharps at Capon. Talked to him in the past, you know, a Kansas legend. He's done a great job of turning around teams. He's never won a state championship, and a true icon for the teams he has coached to finally win his first state championship after 40-some years of coaching. I thought that was really, really cool.
And let's stick in 5A. You know, we've talked about Great Bend. Obviously, that's the town that we're in. And this Great Bend high school football team, it felt like kind of a surprise that they lost this game, or that even that the game was close, much less that Salina Central was able to win it outright.
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to what I said earlier on, is that for Central to win that game, you know, what an impressive way they controlled the game so well. I think that, you know, Salina Central was better up front, and I've said this, I've thrown this idea past a couple of people, and many people have agreed with me that Mark Sandbo in that game called about as good of a game as you can call. You know, Cooper Reeves, an incredible game. That TD pass late to kind of seal it to a boy who caught 2 or 3 passes the whole year. Still, what a year for Great Bend. I mean, a Final Four team. I believe it's the 3rd best finish, or tied for the 2nd best finish ever in Great Bend. You know, still, what an incredible season. And they've got to walk away feeling very, very good.
Yeah, the win. I believe Coach Beck told me it's the winningest senior class that Great Bend has ever had, going, I believe, 33-9 over the 4 years that they played. And I mean, a couple of these kids are going to continue to play. Ian Premer is headed to Notre Dame, and some other guys that could have some opportunities as well.
Yeah, you know, you're exactly right, and thank you for saying that. I thought they had the most wins over a 4-year class, and they did. You know, it's so hard in 5A, and really, obviously, in any class, but certainly in 5A, where, you know, the top 7-8 teams are just so good. You know, it's one of those things I thought a little bit about with the Victoria. You know, the Victoria loses a great state championship game to Hanover by a score. They graduate 11 seniors, including a couple 3 or 4 year starters. And it was this feeling of, man, we really wish that we had won. But by the same token, I mean, we left it all out there, and we have to walk away feeling like we put it all on the field. And obviously, Great Bend and Salina Central played a tremendous game. I felt like for Central to hold Great Bend down a little bit on defense was really impressive and impressed a lot of people. And then again, Central just controlled the game enough offensively with that great line to sustain drives and keep the ball out of GB's hands enough. When you have a high expectation season, as Great Bend did this year, quite honestly, you've got to meet those expectations. You build up to years like this. And again, I really felt like Great Bend met those. What they were preseason ranked 3 or 4, they finished, in the top 4. So they met those high expectations. Could have been cooler. Obviously, go on a step further, of course, but still a great season.
And we're looking now at Hoisington. I spoke with Coach Zach Baird the other day, and he said, we fell short of the ultimate goal, but overall still very proud of the season. And something that he said that really stuck out to me, Connor, was he said that even though as hard as it was to do, given the history that Hoisington has had over the past decade or so, this senior class left Hoisington football better than they found it. And he said that it was because they were able to bring a level of physicality back to Hoisington football that they've kind of lacked the last couple of years. And I wanted to get your thoughts on that quote.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Baird has excellent perspective, and Hoisington's kind of again in this interesting place in Kansas where they're one of the winningest programs in Kansas for just sheer wins over the last decade. They're in the top 5 all classes, but obviously it's a school that has never won a title, and really Hoisington has not won a title in anything in an extremely long time, but they've been very good in wrestling and other sports too. And it's really interesting because you have to continually find the positive, because you never want to lose sight that, hey, you go 10-1 or 10-2, 12-1, that those are bad years, because they are not. I mean, they are great seasons. You win 10 games in high school fall, that's a great year. I've not talked to Coach Baird since the season concluded, but I knew he was going to find a silver lining or some sort of positive that this senior class can take with them for a really long time in their lives. And to say something positive, big picture like that, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, Hoisington has had some teams, they graduated the best passing offense a couple of years ago. Last year was good, but not obviously Hoisington standard. And I do agree, this is the most, physical team Hoisington has had in probably 3 or 4 years.
So, Connor, let's look at some other state championship games. Nemaha Central finally gets one. They've been, I believe this is, 4 years in a row that they've made the state title game. They finally win it over southeast of Saline. Salina Central goes on what wasn't quite a Cinderella run, but kind of felt like it at points. And what else stuck out to you during the state championship weekend?
Well, obviously for the Thunder, for NC, I mean, Carter Hayek, sets the all-time TD record. Is top 3 or 4 all-time in rushing. I did not think that Southeast was going to lose that game, but obviously what Carter Hayek is and what the Thunder are now with multiple state championships under Coach Glatzik, and you go back to Coach Seitz too. I think it's 4 state titles now in 7-8 years. That's been an incredible run. I mean, Hayek is one of the great players of the last 20 years in Kansas. That's really, really just amazing, the career he's had. Sterling had been building up. I remember seeing Sterling play a couple of years ago when they won their first playoff game in a number of years, and they had kind of pointed to 2025 as their season. And Zane Farney, what an incredible year. And Sterling, my goodness, what a great story to beat Rossville by one, the first state championship in 40-plus years. I think when you look back at 2025, I always say, what are the 3 or 4 things that tell the story of this year across all classes? I think Ian Premer is certainly one. You can add even in Hayes High with Holden Lynn and Gus Corsair. All 3 of those kids were Super 11. I think well-deserved of that. I think Salina Central's run. And I think what Sterling did this year, being unranked to a state champion with that great class. I mean, what Coach Snyder's done at Sterling to build that program is a blueprint for everybody, and for everybody who has to have patience. I mean, 7 years ago, Sterling Black Bears won 1 game. And here we are 7 years later. What an incredible turnaround.
So, Connor, we are through football. Let's turn our attention to the winter sports. Basketball is getting underway. I believe already underway in a couple of spots. We are going to get it on our airwaves. Actually, Larned started last night. We're going to have Great Bend at Andover tonight, actually versus Andover in Hutchinson. Tell us about basketball in the state of Kansas and a brief overview of what we need to know.
Yeah, the Great Bend Andover game tonight I think it's really, really interesting. Andover's got a new coach in Trey O'Neill. Andover did graduate a lot, but incredibly offensive, efficient team. I think Great Bend, obviously, very, very high hopes. Trey O'Neill, of course, played at Scott City, won championships for his dad, played at Fort Hays, multiple year starter, goes to Hugoton, a program that always been good but never great, and wins a state championship, finishes second, and then takes over the Trojans. So it should be a great opening round contest tonight. I think Golden Belt area on the girls' side, obviously the Eagles under Coach Maxwell are going to be really good. They had their breakthrough season last year. We could name a lot of names for Coach Maxwell, but I'm really interested in Julia Schlesinger in the middle. Can she, at 6'1", be that dominant presence? She was good last year. She's now a 3-year starter. Can she be great? Because if she is great, that makes the guard play for Ellen Wood that much better. I think that the Indians and Larned on the girls' side are going to be very, very solid. Definitely a team to watch. CP under Coach Stiles, obviously the Hall of Fame coach. They've got a couple of sophomores who I know Coach Stiles is really, really high on, expected to rise up. They graduate the Soken girl, who was exceptional. She was top 15 all classes last year. So there's going to be a little bit of building, but I expect Central Plains to be really, really solid. And of course the LR girls with the Feldman girl, they finished second the last 2 years. Can they break through and win a state championship? I think that's definitely something to watch. That's going to be a great team too.
And, I'm headed off to Scott City tonight. I won't be on the call of this game, but I'll be involved with the broadcast in a different way. But really looking forward to seeing this one. This Hoisington team, I know a lot of these football players also play basketball, and I spoke with Coach Baird yesterday, and he told me that they felt like Mason Martin would be a good quarterback because of what they saw from him on the basketball court. And with that going on tonight, what do I need to be looking for? And is he as good a point guard as he is a quarterback?
Yeah, I think that he is. I think he's a really nice player. I think that Scott City's a really good test for Hoisington in a couple of ways. First of all, Scott City is a traditionally strong program in basketball. In Hoisington, I got to see them play last year. They go 12-10. They got blitzed by Scott City in this first game of last year, and Hoisington under Coach Haxton, always solid, a really just athletic team. Martin last year, 14 plus points per game. They graduated and several nice seniors, certainly Jason Robinson among those. So they've got a lot of holes to fill. but a really just good test out of the gate. Hoisington has not beaten Scott City in a while here. In fact, it has been it has not been since before 2020, at least 2020. So it's been some time. And a lot of those 3 losses, last year, 28 points, 2023, 12 points, 2022, 10 points. So, can Hoisington play Scott close? I think would be a really big first game question.
So, Connor, we have talked a lot about volleyball and football over the fall. Let's go into winter. Sunflower Sports Solutions in the winter season, what can people expect?
Right, yeah. So we've got, they're being inputted now. If you go on to certainly 3A and 5A, all of the football stats from across Kansas are now being put in. You can go on the website and search all those and compare those to previous years. I know that for teams that are looking for coordinators or new assistant coaches or even new head coaches, those stats help. Because if you're trying to find a coach who, comes from a passing offense or comes from, a run-based offense or something, all those stats are there. And then for basketball and then for wrestling, we do have stats, records, and stories as things go along.
Connor, thank you so much for the time, man. Looking forward to talking basketball with you moving forward.
Hey, certainly, sir. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Bye-bye. That is Connor Nickel of Sunflower Sports Solutions joining us here on Sports Day. Connor Nickel, one of the busiest men in the world, and he continues to be super impressive and super reliable and super useful to me, just as someone to talk to and kind of get an idea of what exactly is going on in the world of sports in Kansas. And, yeah, I mean, to his point, credit to Salina Central. That game, I haven't had a lot of chance to talk about it, but that game with Great Bend that Salina Central put on, I think Connor said something to the effect of actually I think it was Coach Beck who said this, but I think Connor would back it up. Every bullet that Salina Central fired hit. Every trick play that they ran, every deep shot that they dialed up, every big play that they wanted to hit, they were able to hit. And it was in such a way that I don't think, not to say that Great Bend wasn't ready for it. I think that this Salina Central team has been operating in that way for most of the season, and breaking out the big plays when they needed the big plays. But I do think that there were times where certain defenders, certain players on both sides of the ball, were caught a little bit off guard. And credit to Salina Central, they built from up front, and they did it again in a way similar to what Hayes did, and Great Bend was able to hold Hayes down. But Salina Central, I think, proved that from left tackle to right tackle, they were able to handle Great Bend a little bit better than Hayes was, which is kind of shocking given the kind of season that Hayes has had. And I think that Salina Central, and again, they dialed up the tricky stuff when they absolutely needed it. And it was a really impressive showing from Salina Central. And again, congratulations to them. They went through. They won the state title. They did the dang thing. And not every team can say that. And I think, congratulations to them. And best of luck to Great Bend next season. And again, Great Bend is going to have a really good football team next season. It's not going to have the likes of Trent Kern. It's not going to have the likes of Ian Premer. Those guys are off to college to do whatever they're going to do. And we know what Ian Premer is going to do. I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of college football player Ian becomes. Because, again, 5-star recruit, #1 tight end in the country by most services. Big body, fast, moves so well for a guy his size. And headed to one of the premier programs in all of college football because of it. I, for one, can't wait to see it. And I know that folks around here can't wait to watch him in a gold helmet. And I think he's going to be fantastic. I wonder if it takes him a year. I wonder if they want him to bulk up a little bit more. Because most tight ends at the Division I level, he was listed at 220 to start the year. Coach Beck has informed me a couple of weeks ago that Ian has bulked up to 230. That's closer. that's closer to what you want. Most guys at that level are 240, 250. I certainly think Ian can get there sooner rather than later. If he signed early, if he was going to be on campus early, I think he definitely could have contributed as a freshman. I wouldn't have any doubt about it. And he still may. He still very well could. But because he is staying in high school, finishing out his senior year, playing basketball and baseball, I just have to wonder, okay, does he have the time? Do they want him to put on that weight? It's such an interesting dynamic to me because of the way the tight end position gets used now in college football, that these guys they have to be able to do everything. Ian has been used mostly as a slot receiver with Great Bend. Notre Dame, I'm sure, is going to use him at that spot. They're going to put him out wide and try and get favorable matchups with him. But I also expect, because he is such a good blocker, they want to line him up on the end of the line of scrimmage. They want to line him up at H-back and have him be a lead blocker when he can, because again, he is willing and able. And again, every time you watched Great Bend's team this year, it came across how much those guys loved playing for each other, how unselfish the quote-unquote superstars were, how when it was a guy's night, boy, it was a guy's night, and that guy was going to be the guy, and next week it was going to have to be someone else. And that football team was so much fun to watch, and you hate it came to an end a week early. But again, got to give credit to Salina Central. They went in, they did the dang thing. And again, that was the only close playoff game that Salina Central played on their run to lifting the state title. They pretty well handled their opponent. Again, I think it was Baser Linwood, if my memory serves. But in the 5A state championship game, they won it by multiple possessions. And again, Great Bend was they were favored in that matchup, but Salina Central again came through, did the dang thing, and now it's on to basketball, and we are going to focus heavily on basketball. Like I said, moving forward, we're going to have Kyle Cray and Jade Winter, basketball coaches over at Great Bend High School. They will be on the show starting next week. So really looking forward to that. I believe we'll talk to Coach Cray on Thursday and Coach Winter on Tuesdays. So that can be your schedule going forward if that's what you're looking for. And really excited to get those two in, learn a little bit more about Great Bend High School basketball and what they expect from their teams next year. Sports Day Today is brought to you in part by Equity Bank. There when you need them. Bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and in Larned. Also in part by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange signs south of 10th and Harrison. We got to hit our last break of the show. When we come back, we'll talk about the weekend on our airwaves in the world of sports. We've got some stuff for you tonight, airing on 3 different stations. So we're back to that kind of schedule on Fridays especially. If you like football, if you like basketball, this is where you're going to want to listen. We're back with more after this. You're listening to Sports Day live from the Mayo Money Management Studio on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Check up on health with Chris Whitting. Cannabis use in the United States has remained at historically high levels, and the fastest gains are in a surprising group. According to Danielle Haley, from the Boston University School of Public Health.
Interestingly, adults over 65 are the fastest growing age group using cannabis. And I think people are also kind of moving to cannabis for medical reasons, so thinking about your mood, sleep, pain.
And Dr. Haley says cannabis risks are very different when you're 65 years old versus 20 years old.
Cannabis interacts with a number of prescribed medications, and at the same time, particularly as cannabis is getting more potent, and if you think about something like an unintended injury or a fall, there may be greater consequences for people as they age as compared to someone who's younger.
With Checkup on Health, I'm Chris Whitting.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Cine Doors' Christmas message may not be original, but we hope your Christmas shines like the eyes of a child in a toy store.
I wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas.
Papa! That's right, Hadley. I think you just did, Eddie.
Oh yeah, and have a Happy New Year to boot.
Mom, Dad, and everyone at Cine Doors prays your holidays are filled with love and happiness. We hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas from everyone at C&E Doors. C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Final few minutes of Sports Day here on this Friday. We're headed into the weekend and glad to be doing so. Sports Day is presented in part by Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of their community members. Also by Freedom Claims Management. Let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management, Inc. customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's needs. So I promise we're going to go over what is happening on our airwaves tonight and over the weekend as far as sports on this station, beginning at, well, actually, we'll start with this. Beginning at 2:45, Mike Escher is already on his way to Hutchinson. Great Bend will face off against Andover. Andover Central will be in Hutchinson with Great Bend. Great Bend is also going to be playing there tomorrow. We'll get there when we get there. Tonight, if you are looking for conference championship matchups, that's at 6:30. The AAC championship game, North Texas and Tulane, coverage will start at 6:30. I believe that game starts at 7. So really looking forward to that one. Winner of that one gets a spot in the college football playoffs. So should be a very fun and interesting game. Elsewhere on our airwaves tonight, over on 100.7 Eagle Country, you can hear Caden Sanders call the contest between Hoisington and Scott City, their first basketball game of the year, going to Scott City. I'll actually be at that game. I'll be running the camera, so be sure to watch online at greatbendpost.com. Hover over the More tab, drop down where it says Cardinal Video Stream, and you can click there. You can get all of basketball season, including any playoff run, for $100, or you can buy this game. Hey, Scott City's a 2-hour drive. Maybe you don't want to make it. You can buy this game by itself for $10, and that'll be all you have to worry about. Tomorrow, if I can be selfish for a second, I'm promoting that I will be on the call of Barton Community College basketball. They are hosting the Pratt Beavers in a game that both teams really need. I'll say the women need it more than the men, but certainly the men don't want to fall to 500. They are 3-2 in Jayhawk play right now. Their record is still pretty good overall, but got to get back on the horse against the Beavers in Jayhawk play. The women really looking for a win. Should be a very interesting matchup there tomorrow. Elsewhere, we will have the second game of that doubleheader between Great Bend and Andover Central. Well, actually, let's go through it in order real quick. Well, at 10:30, coverage will start of the Big 12 championship game. BYU and Texas Tech will play. That kickoff at 11. Coverage begins at 10:30. Immediately following, Great Bend girls and boys versus Bishop Carroll in Hutch. That'll be a fun one. Whenever that goes off the air, we will be bringing you the ACC championship game, Virginia and Duke. Virginia playing Duke for a spot in the college football playoff. Duke, if they win, will move to 8-5. I have no idea how Duke backdoored their way into the ACC championship game, or rather, how Miami somehow kept themselves out of it. But Duke is in there, and if they lose this game, it is unlikely that the ACC gets a team in the college football playoff. And that would just kind of be tragic, I think, for the Atlantic Coast Conference, which, again, hosts 2 teams on the West Coast. Kind of weird, but that's where we are in the world of college football. Anyway, Virginia and Duke, that's at 6:30. And on Sunday, we will be having the NFL at 3 p.m. Broncos traveling to face the Las Vegas Raiders. We've typed them up as the LA Raiders on the sheet that I'm looking at, but it is the LV Raiders if you want to go with abbreviations, or just the Raiders. 2 AFC West teams going at it. Bo Nix, man, he continues to look better and better, and I couldn't be happier for the kid. But that's going to do it for today's show. Big thanks to Connor Nickel and Jeremy Combs for coming on to today's show. Big thanks to Landon Winkler over in the corner for keeping us on the air. Big thanks to everybody who has joined me coming back this week. It's a shortened week. I was only here Wednesday through today, but we'll be back on Monday. Full 5 shows next week, at least I think. May have to do some math on that, but I think that's going to be all it is. But that's going to do it for today's show. Everybody have a good weekend. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We're back on Monday. Same time, same place, 12:30 right here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.